Bueno amigos, aquí estamos en una entrevista para Rugido Austral. Will se va a presentar en el próximo CL PROG año 2026 y tenemos aquí a su vocalista y principal compositor. Estamos junto a James, quien se ha dado un tiempo para conversar con nosotros. Hi, how are you?
Very, very well. Thank you for having me.
That's great. And what do you expect to your next visit to Santiago, Chile?
I have no idea what to expect. It's a part of the world I've never been to. I've heard wonderful things, and I know some Chileans living here in Helsinki. But yeah, about the country, I know where it is on a map. I know the name of the capital city and a bit of what the geography looks like. That's about it, I think, and everything else will be a really pleasant surprise. And it's kind of nice going to a place where I know I'm going to learn a lot in the process. It's going to be exciting, an adventure.
Yes, of course. And have you heard about the CL PROG before? Because a lot of great bands have been here, Prague and vanguard bands in the festival.
I haven't, but you'll feel better about it when I tell you that I'm just bad at this. We were recently. I just realised there's a venue in LA called Whiskey A Go Go that's famous, and I'd never heard of it. So I think I just live under a rock because I'm normally writing, and I'm not very good at this stuff. So I hadn't heard of it, but since I have heard of it, everything looks great. I really like the artwork style. I think the band choice looks really good. The staff are awesome. Yeah. Well, my first impression is the festival is going to be great.
Absolutely. And when how has been the summer for Will in Europe? We know there's a lot of dates and festival there.
To be honest, we haven't done that many festivals this summer, but the ones we did were spectacular. Like Hellfest in France, that was the hottest gig I've ever played. I think it was. I think we measured it was nearly 40 degrees centigrade inside this tent. In fact, no, it was more than that. It was something absolutely ludicrous, and I got heat stroke after the show, which wasn't so fun. But the gig itself was so good, I didn't mind. We went to play Sun Thunder down in Malaga. That was a great experience too. That's a new upcoming festival, but lovely part of the world to get to play in. And other than that, we've mainly been working on behind the scenes stuff back home, kind of getting ready to get go again next year, and tentatively working on some new music. It's early days yet, but we are working on it.
That's great news. And well, talking about your music, after 1 year and a half, approx, how do you feel about charismatic leaders? The sound, the reception of the audience?
I'm proud of what we achieved. I think there's a great quote on a Meshuggah DVD I saw a long time ago, which is making an album is an art of compromise. And I think that is a really healthy way to look at making an album, because no matter how things sound in our minds, that changes throughout the process of recording it and sharing it with other people. And I'm very passionate about when other people put ideas in, trying to make them work, because firstly, I want people to be able to express themselves, and I'm doing most of the writing. But also, I think it's just more interesting than 55 minutes of what's in my head. I love mixing that up, and that's where some of the most interesting stuff comes from. But how I feel about it now artistically, I think it was a difficult album to make, but I think the result is excellent. I think the sound fits the songs. I think that's always the most important thing. Does the vibe feel like it's right for the material? And I think the answer is yes. But I think probably like many other artists, by the time it's come out, I've already finished my bit. Like I've been involved from the first note that was written. I was there every day of the recording. I was doing the callbacks for the mixes and masters. So at that point, I've signed off, and I'm already thinking about the next thing.
Well, that's great. And well, you have been growing as a band. Do you think you have a moment, like a key moment in your growing, to be considered like a bigger band in the scene?
But what you mean is it adding more people into the band?
I mean, do you have any precise key moment when you felt you were really growing and being more considered?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, sure. Definitely. I think probably when our first album came out, I remember in 2018, we ended up doing a few dates with a band called Amorphis in Finland, who
Oh, yeah.
incidentally we're going to tour with them again this year, but higher up on the bill now.
Yes.
We were nothing at that point. We'd done 2 EPs. We didn't have any connections. We were struggling to get any gigs. And Moving Backwards came out in 2019. And just immediately we started getting really serious offers for tours from bands like Soen and Catatonia. And, immediately it just felt like we were on the map. And it was, we've had to learn a lot in the process. Like there's a lot of stuff to this which you can't really prepare yourself for, which might not be that obvious. For example, even reading ideas in social media or how people feel about certain songs, for example, or ideas we have, it's not necessarily conducive to making better music. I think a great example is back when we released the Divide EP, so our second EP, our management decided to send that out to, there was a review site at the time where I think you could pay €1 or €2 per review, and some random person doing either a podcast or whatever would review your CD. When we got the reviews back, literally every single thing about our music, whether it was the guitars, the bass, the drums, the vocals, the composition style, the tempo, the production style, everyone didn't like something. And that's why I think, if you're chasing after those likes, you're going to be disappointed. All you can really do is try and make something I think you would be passionate and excited about, and just see how it resonates with other people. And when that happened with Moving Backwards, it was so new. I think that's why it felt like such a big step at that time. And we were just blown away that so many people cared about it. And, even now, many years later, we turned it into a career, which I'm still amazed we've done. And the future's looking brighter and brighter. It's kind of crazy looking back that this works, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something about your lyrics. Many of your lyrics seem to stare like into darkness in search of the truth. Do you believe that art needs to disturb or challenge in order to be honest?
I think that's a great question, and I think it's different for every artist. I think as long as an artist is being true to themselves, I think it has value. And maybe one person's truth isn't about political commentary. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's talking like Taylor Swift. Maybe it's talking about your ex-relationships or whatever it might be. As long as you're telling something that is real to you and that you've got something to say about. And right from the start with Wheel, I've had two goals lyrically. It's find something to say worth saying, and to say it well. And I don't always get it perfectly right, but I think it's art. It's compromise. Sometimes the song is more important than the message. Sometimes the message is good enough that you need to tweak the song to fix it. But I don't know, at least up to this point, I've really thought a lot about each subject for each song, and that definitely slows down the process, because I put sometimes years into finishing lyrics for some of the songs, just to get the perfect way to say the perfect thing. But yeah, I think the closest you get to a real truth is being true to yourself. And Wheel, much like how I feel in my personal life, has been about consistent reevaluation and growth, personal growth as a team. And I think that translates through the music too.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks. And well, how do you balance the complexity of progressive structures with the need to stay emotionally accessible to the listeners?
I love that question. This is something we think about all the time, and I think technicality for its own sake is a trap. It's not interesting. I think my go-to mantra from the start of the band has been, I don't want it to feel like people need a music degree to enjoy Wheel. If you can't enjoy a piece of music without having to work out, okay, so that's a flat 15th chord they've got going on there, and then they go, sure, that can be interesting from a theoretical or academic position, but music, as you say, it's about feelings, it's about emotions. And I think particularly in Wheel, with our focus on rhythm, it's very much about groove. And that's knowing, when to switch the click track off completely. So for example, when we play live, we hardly use a click track at all. We've got somebody will check a tempo, for some of the songs, but normally we just feel it. We've got 2 songs in the set where we keep a click just because there are some synth elements which we've missed if they weren't there. But we want to keep it as organic, as human, as realistic, as flawed as possible. Because a great example, think about Evil Empire by Rage Against the Machine. When Balls on Parade starts, the tempo is all over the place. It speeds up, it slows down again, and it's wonderful. The fact it moves, that's what makes it so exciting to listen to. If it was just perfectly on the grid, it's just a bit dull. At the same time, you look at bands like Fear Factory, who've really pioneered that super tight, clean sound, and that sounds great too. But at least where we fall on that spectrum, we are very much about keeping some of that retro energy to the tempos live. And for anyone who comes to CL Prog to check us out, you'll see it in practice. Our drummer, he's pretty good, so we just follow what he does.
That's great. Well, if you could describe the sound of Will as a natural phenomenon, as a storm, a wildfire, what would it be and why?
I think because I'm British and I've got terrible humour, I'm going to say it's like a bus missing one of the wheels. Because you're never really sure where it's going to end up, and it might be a car crash, or maybe you get to your destination, or anything in between.
Yeah, great. Well, last question. When the last chord of the show in Chile fades away and the silence takes over, what do you hope people are left feeling?
I hope they just feel like they don't regret coming to see the gig. I hope they feel happy, and hopefully like they discovered something new they like. And just to come and see the Finnish musicians in our band play, you guys should come and see the show. They are ridiculously good. So come check them out and roast me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Great, man. And last, will you send us a greeting to our page Rugido Austral and an invitation to the CL Prog?
So what do you want me to say it now?
Rugido Austral?
Prohibo?
Rugido.
Prohido?
Rugido.
Rugido.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me it again. What do I need to say?
An invitation to the CL Prog and a greeting to the people that are...
Okay, I'll try and do this. Here we go. Lovely people of Chile, and especially if you live near Santiago, come to CL Prog, see Wheel play. We're going to play there. How good is that, right? There are loads of other good bands. If you're not coming, ask yourself why. The answer should be because I haven't got a ticket yet and I'll get one now. Come to the festival. See you there.
Thank you so much. It's been really...
No worries, my pleasure. Sorry about my shit Spanish.
No, don't worry. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a nice day. See you here.